My name is Katalin. I am the owner of POW MMA and Fitness in Chicago's West Loop. So I'm just going to get together with you to do a fast at-home workout. I am on vacation and I just need to get moving, and honestly I find that this is the perfect environment for me to get a quick workout in because it's a beautiful environment and I feel very energized by just the air and the water and just everything around me. But what's nice about this routine is you can do it in your backyard, on your balcony, on a porch, or on vacation like me. I'm going to start with jump rope, and we're going to do a little bit of jump rope. And each time I do a jump rope interval, I'm going to give you some tips on jumping rope. You want to start jumping rope making sure that the rope sits at about a 45-degree angle off your hips. So that's where the handle should be when you're jumping. I go for a boxer shuffle, which is what I'm doing right now. It's the most efficient way to jump rope. It's the lowest amount of impact on my body. And I can actually increase my speed pretty well, which is, what I want when I want to get to a high intensity point. So whether you do this style of jump or you alternate or you 2-foot jump, it doesn't matter. You do what you can do just to kind of keep it going. So I sometimes watch a clock. You can go for about a minute, or you can think like I'm going to do 50 jumps in a row. I'm going to do about minute intervals. I'm just going to kind of ballpark it because I don't have a watch actually on me. And I'm just going to kind of keep moving. So my first interval is jump rope. My second interval is going to be with my tube. I'm going to loop it around anything. I'm going to use the balcony. I actually did this routine in Europe as I traveled, and I did this program for 20 minutes, but I used the balconies of the hotels that I stayed at. And I got to look over Positano and all sorts of beautiful environments. So I'm going to start with just a basic squat row. As I squat, I have 2 shoulder width distance apart in my feet. I sit my weight back like I'm sitting in a chair or on a box. I keep my shoulders down, my neck long, and this is a lat row where I'm pulling my elbows behind my body, and I bring my thumbs to the crease of my underarms. I'm going more or less for an interval of time. I'm kind of ballparking it once again. So I'm going for 30 seconds to 45 seconds. Or you can pick a number like 20, 25. Something that you know you're going to get to a state of fatigue. This is not necessarily going to be my biggest or most challenging strength training workout, but it's about just keeping my heart rate up, staying in shape, maintaining what I work towards when I'm home training, and just making sure that I stay strong so that it doesn't feel miserable after a week on vacation to get back into the gym. Now, if you're someone who does this jump, it's okay. The trick though is to make sure that you are alternating the leg that you jump onto. Still work on keeping the rope in front of the body with the handles at the side or 45 degrees off your hip. So we don't want, see actually that causes you to trip, you don't want the arms swinging all the way around you like that because you'll keep cutting your feet off. So if you are going to do this school ground jump pattern, just keep the arms in the proper position so that as you get better at jumping rope, you're able to transition into the proper technique for other type of jumping patterns. Alright, so we'll call that about a minute. I'm going to take my tube again. I'm going to step on it, bring it up through the middle of my feet. You can pretty much get these anywhere. I like grabbing the side of my handles on this. You can grab over the top. My neck is long, my shoulders are back, my belly's flat, and I'm going to do a straight arm extension off my shoulders, over my head. Each time I do this, I'm going to look up. So it's important that you don't look down and start curling your neck, but keeping the shoulders down and back. Sometimes when people maintain really good posture on these exercises, they overarch their back and they get this lordotic curve. You don't want to do that. You want to keep the pelvis very neutral and stabilized as you do these front raises all the way up. You can call these full range front raises. If you find you have a little bit of crunchiness in your shoulder when you do this, only go within the range that it doesn't crunch and where you're maintaining resistance on the tube, okay? So this wouldn't be a very effective range of motion. I want to feel the negative also, so I want to return the tube to its starting position. I'm going to call that about 30 to 45 seconds or about 25 reps. I know I could be counting for you, but we just want to kind of get through this together, and then you can replay or repeat any of these exercises. Okay, so now 2-foot jumps. Nothing wrong with them. It's actually one way that I can increase my heart rate and the intensity. This is more work for me than this. I poop out a lot quicker when I do this. If you're doing a 2-foot jump, still maintain a soft connection to the ground. So you're not pounding and your heels don't touch the ground. You want to keep a soft bend in the knees, and the handles have to be 45 degrees off your hips so that you have best control of the rope. You want your shoulders to be locked into place and not this kind of loose posture, okay, where you lose control of the rope and actually you're really not just in good technique and form. Okay, we'll call that about a minute. Back to my tube. We're going to do a lunge with a shoulder press. I'm going to step on the tube with my front leg. I'm going to angle myself a little bit. I slide my one leg back, a pretty long stride. I want to make sure that as I lower down, I have a right angle at my knee. I'm going to curl. I'm going to hold it right here. Get a nice grip. I'm going to lower, press right, then left. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to switch. So on something like this, I do count it out because I'm doing only one side at a time. I'll face towards you now. I slide back. Pelvis is tucked under. I'm going to give a little curl. Loop it around the back of my triceps. 1, 2, 3, 4. I press straight up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right, so back to the jump rope. Interval or round 3. Okay, so I'm sorry, round 4. Now I want to go and talk about getting a little bit of ab workout in from this 2-foot jump. And I'm going to twist. Now this is definitely going to get your heart rate up. I can do the 2-foot twist side to side. I keep my shoulders square with you, and I twist just my lower body. I pull my abs in, and I really want to feel my obliques doing the work. Now I can take this to a boxer shuffle and do the same thing, which allows me to get a little bit faster. The trick's keeping your hands in the same place while twisting. All right. Now, let's go back to our tube. I'm going to loop it around. Okay? Through the middle. I'm going to go on an angle for this. All right? Now from here, I'm going to clasp both my hands and make a fist on top of the handles. I'm going to sit into my stance, and I'm going to do rotation side to side. Every time I rotate, I pivot my foot. My shoulders stay locked in place. I'm not actually doing a row with rotation. I'm doing a straight arm rotation. I love this one because it's very applicable to the martial arts and boxing. But you'll see a lot of functional gyms and trainers doing variations of this exercise. The trick's to power through, but don't let it snap you back. You gotta power into it and control. Pivoting and driving off the balls of the feet each time. So we have our fifth round that I'm going to do. We're going to work on how do you get to a figure eight. Figure eights are the most important jump rope trick to learn because they really integrate you and transition you into a bunch of tricks. So the trick is to go 8-8, kind of run in place, and then as I come across, so if I'm right-handed, which is the easier way to do it, as I come from my left, my right hand's going to open up, and it's got to open up as wide as my hips. So 8, open, open. So this is the best way to learn it. Stop, 8-8, open, jump in place, open. So if you're going to try to do it on your dominant side and you're right-handed, you're going to go right, left, open, 8-8, open, 8 to the right, 8 to the left, open, right, left, open. When you open, don't open and pull your hands up towards your shoulders because then you cut yourself off at your shins. But as you do this, open at your hips so that the rope's coming right underneath your feet. The hands, once again, if you notice when I open, I bring them back to this 45-degree angle off my hips, and I also have a good sense of where my rope should be, so it's easy for me to find that place again. So I'm always opening across my hips. All right, so that's our last jump rope round, because we're shooting for about a 10-minute round of one of these exercise series, and then you can repeat it as much as you'd like. All right, so now we're going to step on it with 1 foot, 1 foot. We're going to go side raises, front raises, bicep curls. Side raises, front raises, bicep curls. You can make this alternating arms. It depends how fatigued you feel and how challenging the tube is that you've chosen. I do like to keep my front raises at about my shoulder height. I still work on keeping my neck long. And we have one more. All right, so we'll call that about 45 seconds. So we did a 10-minute workout, and what you can do once again is do a whole second set, but a good little 10-minute blast like that definitely makes me feel like I'm maintaining my strength and my overall strength and endurance while I'm on vacation, traveling, and I just need to hit it to make myself feel like I'm not gonna be miserable going back to the gym when I return. Enjoy.